I'm Natalie Wood with Xable.com, and we're back for the second half of Quad Rugby at the Colorado Convention Center today. A big thanks to HealthNet Federal Services for sponsoring this exciting event. Can't wait to get back to the action for the second half of a really good match so far. The score is 26-17 blue. The blue team and gray team are both playing their second matches of the day and the first day of events here at the National Veterans Wheelchair Games. Gray team has the ball. Jamal Williams throwing in the ball. Gus Sorensen has the ball for Gray, passes it off to number 12. Stephen McGuire with the ball for Gray, number 12, and he makes the goal for Gray. The score now 26-18 blue. Paul Mann throwing in the ball for blue. But it goes out of bounds and it's back to Gray's ball. Gray gets it with a nice pass and despite a hard defense on the blue team. Number 12, Stephen McGuire with the ball headed towards Gray's goal. And there's another goal for Gray in just a couple minutes here of the second half. Stephen McGuire with his 7th goal of the game. The blue team passes in the ball, making their way down court fast. And that's Christopher Hall with the ball for blue, bypassing all of the gray defense with quite a nice, easy run down to blue's goal line. Now Gray has the ball again, making their way down court. It's Stephen McGuire going for another goal, but there's a defender down there waiting for him. He passes him by and gets another goal for Gray. Stephen McGuire with his 8th goal. Gray has just scored another goal. The score now 27-20. Blue still winning despite all these fast goals by the gray team. The ball's thrown in. And there's a violation. Violation on the blue team, so Gray now has the ball down on their side of the court. Stephen McGuire throwing in the ball for Gray. Passes it off to Jamal Williams, number 4 for Gray, now with the ball headed towards the goal, but really he's covered very well. He's looking for a pass, and Stephen McGuire gets open, gets the pass, and makes another goal for the Gray team. Blue has the ball, making their way down the court. Christopher Hall speeds down, some dribbles, beating everyone else down to his goal line, scoring a point for Blue. Chris Hall with the goal. The score now 28-22, Blue. Gray has the ball, passes it to Steve McGuire. McGuire headed down, trying to beat the rest of the guys down with a couple of dribbles and makes it past the goal line for a goal for Gray. Steve McGuire's 10th goal of the game. We've got a timeout, Blue. It'll be Blue's ball when we come back after Gray just scored their 23rd goal. This is Blue's first timeout call of the game.
Everybody but Earl, I'd say. Me, Tim Kelly, Lonnie, and Earl.
And it's Blue's ball as we come back from the timeout. Christopher Hull passing in the ball, but it's intercepted by Steve McGuire on the Gray team, and Steve takes it for another goal for Gray. Gray's now catching up pretty quickly to the Blue team, the score 28-24. But Blue has the ball. Earl Richardson has the ball for Blue. And there was a violation. We're switching out some players now. Pretty much all of the Blue team except for Scott Severn has subbed out and in. And now we have Gray's ball down on their end of the court. Gray players all trying to get open for the throw-in. But Blue's making it pretty difficult for them. Jamal Williams is trying to get the ball in for Gray and passes it to number 10. The pass rolled off court, and now it's Blue's ball. Gary Combs throwing in the ball for Blue to Scott Severn. Severn gets the pass down by Gray's goal, so he's trying to weave his way back to the Blue side, and he passed by everyone. It looked pretty easy, but I'm sure it wasn't as easy as it looked. And Scott Severn makes the goal for Blue, and that's number 29 for Blue. Gray has 24. Stephen McGuire throwing it in for Gray. Passes it off to Gus Sorensen. And then back to Steve McGuire. And we have a timeout on the Gray team. The score now 29-24 Blue. But Gray really is making a comeback this second half so far with quite a few goals in a short amount of time. And we have a sub coming in for Blue. For Gray. Tim Jones and Jose Ortiz are subbing in. Gray with the ball. Steve McGuire throwing it in, looking for a pass. Gets the ball to Tim Jones. Jones fights his way through the defense, speeding down the court. No one there to block him, so Steve McGuire with another goal, bringing Gray's score up to 25.
Hey, look at Steve! Look at Steve! Earl, on Steve!
Blue just tried to throw in the ball, but had a good block by Steve McGuire. It's back out of bounds. But Blue gets to throw it in from the other side. Blue throws it in to Scott Severn. Scott with the ball, fighting to get through the defense. Some hard hits there by Steve McGuire against Scott Severn. Scott passes it, and the ball's kind of up in the air. Stephen McGuire gets the ball. The hard block by Scott Severn. But in the end, Tim Jones scores another goal for Gray, bringing the score up to 29-26 blue team. Throwing in the ball now for blue is Gary Combs. But now it's Gray's ball. Jamal Williams throwing in the ball for Gray. And a really good pass. A good pass to Tim Jones, who takes it to the goal.
So this will be another half a minute. You just put him back in, remember?
Scott Severn with the ball for blue, trying to make their way down court. And there's a really long pass. Blue's struggling to get it, but it looks like Stephen McGuire from the Gray team just stole the ball from blue and getting it back down to the Gray side. And it looks like he's gonna have an open goal line. Makes his way past the line for another goal for Gray. The score now really close, 29-28 blue team. This is really an exciting game. Scott Severn with the ball again for blue, trying to make it down. Now there's a lot at stake. Number 5, Tim Jones, hits it out of his hands. It went out of bounds, and now it's Blue's ball on the sideline. Alonzo Burnett throwing in the ball for blue. Blues made it back down to their side now. Trying to get open, passes it in to number 11, Paul Mann. But it's back to Scott Severn. Scott makes his way towards the goal line. Tim Jones is there to block him. But there was another goal for blue with Scott Severn with the goal. The score now 30-28 blue. That's number 24 for Scott Severn.
Yeah, ball's in.
It's now Blues ball on the sideline. Pretty close to their goal line, so Gray is gonna have to put up some tough defense here.
Yeah, Lonzo.
Passes it in.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Blues got the ball, passes it to Scott Severn.
probably finish off.
Severn looking for a pass or a way into the goal.
Yeah.
It's pretty well blocked along the goal line there. Scott Severn wheels around everyone and speeds past the goal line. Number 25 for Scott Severn. 31 for the blue team total. The score now 31-28 blue. Gray has the ball, passing it down court to Tim Jones. Tim's making his way to the goal line, and Jones scores a goal for Gray, keeping the scores really close, 31-29 blue. That's number 14 for Tim Jones. Scott Severn with the ball for blue, making his way down court. Everyone trying to catch up, but he's pretty far ahead. Severn with the goal for blue. Gray passing it in. Steve McGuire with the ball, trying to make his way down, but Scott Severn is there to stop him. Teammates are all coming down to help him, but it looks like he has an open path to the goal. Oh, Scott Severn gets in his way, blocks him off. But Stephen McGuire finds his way past the line and scores a goal for Gray, bringing the score to 32-30 blue team. And that's number 14 for Stephen McGuire. Scott Severn with the ball for blue makes a long pass down court. Paul Mann has the ball for blue, but Tim Jones is there quick to block him, passes it off to number 4 on the blue team, Timothy Vixie, but Passes it back to Scott Severn. Trying to find a way in there. A really hard block by Jamal Williams on the gray team, blocking Scott Severn. There was no goal there. The gray team making a sub. Michael Martin subbing in for Jamal Williams on the gray team. And it's Gray's ball on their side of the court. Number 2 for Gray throwing in, Michael Martin, who just subbed in. Passes it to Timothy Jones, who passes it down court to Stephen McGuire. McGuire speeding down. Scott Severn right there to block him. Tim Jones coming down, grabs the ball, making his way to the goal. Ooh! Oh! And Tim Jones falls over after a really hard hit from Scott Severn. But he makes a goal with all of that and looks to be okay. Just a little beat up from a really hard hit. The score now, 1 off, 32-31 Blue winning, and it's Blues ball. Scott Severn with the ball, making his way down. Knocked out of his hand by number 12, Steve McGuire, and it rolls down court, making it Blues ball.
So you need, Lonnie needs 30 seconds and Tim Kelly needs 2.5 minutes.
Blue throwing it in, down on Gray's side of the court.
It's that weird substitution.
Scott Severn with the ball, trying to get through the goal line, and he makes another goal for Blue, making the score 33-31 Blue team. That's number 27 for Scott Severn. Gray passes it in. A hard block by Gary Combs on the Blue team. So it's Gray's ball on the sideline. Timothy Jones passing in the ball for Gray. Passes it down. Stephen McGuire gets the pass. Scott Severn's there to block him. Jones with the ball, trying to weave his way into the goal line with a couple dribbles, looking for a pass or a way in. And he calls a timeout. But the ref is saying there are no timeouts, more timeouts left for Gray.
1 minute.
There's 1 minute left in the quarter. The score now 33-31 Blue.
I've got number 3 on the bench.
There, all right, well then we're settled. And he only had
Some discrepancy over whether Gray can have a timeout right now or not.
So we'll do.
But it looks like it's Gray's ball down at the sideline.
I did pretty good. This was. You messed me up.
Tim Jones passes the ball to Steve McGuire, and Steve with the goal for Gray, making it Steve's 15th goal. The score now 33-32 Blue. It's turning out to be a really close game. Blue started out way ahead, but Gray really caught up, especially here in the second half of the game. It's getting really intense out there. A stray ball just picked up by the Gray team. Tim Jones picks it up. He's looking for a pass. Steve McGuire now has the ball for Gray, looking to get through the goal line.
30 seconds.
And he makes his way in despite the really intense defense on the Blue team. The score now 33-33, tied for the first time today. Scott Severn with the ball for Blue, speeding down court. He knows he has to do his part to catch Blue back up, get them back ahead of Gray. And he does that, making their score 34-33. Blue team still ahead. Gray's passing it in. Tim Jones with the ball. Grabs it and makes a long pass, but it looks like Scott Severn will intercept it, grabbing it and bringing it back to his goal line for another goal for Blue, bringing the score to 35-33 Blue. Tim Jones passing it in for Gray, passing it to Steve McGuire, who's racing to grab the ball. He has to race down to the goal line, and he does it, beating out his defenders who are close behind. The score 35-34 Blue. Steve McGuire with the steal from the Blue team. He's waiting for his Gray teammates to get down there to their goal line. And that's the quarter.
I know it is.
Okay, 1 minute.
The score now 35-34 Blue. It's a really intense second half here as Gray caught up to Blue, making it hard for them to stay ahead. We've had a lot of hard defense, a lot of hard hits, and even one turnover today. Everyone's really striving to get that W.
So did you just learn this today? What are you doing Wednesday night?
The teams are now strategizing how to play this last quarter well. Either one of them could have the win.
Right here, if you could be here about half.
These guys must be getting pretty tired because the teams are limited to 10 players and each have to play for 8 minutes. So it's a lot of play time for these players, and they're playing hard.
All right.
Looks like the last quarter is about to begin.
Needs 30 seconds and Tim needs 2.5.
Once again, we want to thank our sponsor, HealthNet Federal Services, for sponsoring this event today.
Earl's in for Lonnie.
It's really a great event at the Colorado Convention Center here at the 30th National Veterans Wheelchair Games. I'm Natalie Wood here with Xable.com, and we'll bring you coverage of these exciting games all week long.
We're going to go in with these guys. We're done with 2.5 minutes.
We're about to start the fourth quarter here. Blue's throwing in the ball. Scott Severn has the ball for Blue. Dribbling, looking around for a pass or a way in. Gray's putting up a good defense. Tim Jones there to stop Scott Severn from just rolling into the goal line. But Scott finds his way around and makes a goal. That's number 30 for Severn. He's made 30 of Blue's 36 goals today. Gray now has the ball. Scott Severn hits it out of Stephen McGuire's hands and grabs the ball. Blue now has the ball again. Still down by their goal. And Scott Severn brings it in for another goal against the Gray team. The score now 37-34 Blue. Stephen McGuire has the ball now for Gray, looking for a pass as he has 3 defenders on him. Makes a really long pass down the court, and Gray's unable to grab it, making it Blue's ball down on their end of the court.
Okay, we have another one.
Scott Severn with the ball for Blue.
Spread it out.
Looking for a way out of this tough defense by the Gray team. He's in a corner there, but he gets it out and passes it down to number 2 on the Blue team, Alonzo Burnett. Alonzo Burnett gets the ball. Burnett wheeling towards the goal, and Burnett scores the goal, his first goal of the day, bringing the score 38-34 Blue. Number 5, Timothy Jones, is throwing in the ball for Gray. Passes it in, but it's missed, and he picks it back up. Tim Jones has the ball heading down the court. A really hard hit from Scott Severn, blocking him from just an open goal there. And number 2, Gary Combs comes and blocks him as well. Tries to pass it off to Stephen McGuire, but Scott Severn grabs the ball for Blue and is headed back down to his goal line with no defenders down there to stop him. And Severn makes the goal, bringing the score to 39-34 Blue. And we have a timeout on the Blue team. An intense second half here in the last quarter with the score pretty close still, 39-34 Blue winning. Gray has a couple minutes to try to bring it back. There's 6 minutes and 24 seconds left in this quarter. And Gray's strategizing about ways they can catch back up with Blue. They were tied there for a couple minutes. And the teams are coming back from timeout.
Gary, we got 30 seconds.
And looks like Gray is throwing it in. Tim Jones throwing in the ball for Gray. Hits it down court, hoping that Steve McGuire can grab it, but it was a little too long. Great idea, just a little too hard of a pass. So it's going to be Blues ball. And Gary Combs for the Blue team is throwing in the ball, passes it to Scott Severn, and Severn has the ball. Dribbling and looking around. Looking for an opening to the goal. But Gray has the goal line pretty well blocked off. Severn still looking for a pass or an entrance. And now it's going to be Gray's ball on the sideline. There's some sort of penalty there.
Penalty.
Scott Severn with the ball for Blue. Severn once again looking for a way into the goal line, as the Gray team has him pretty well blocked off. Tim Jones is there to stop him every way he turns. But it looks like Severn weaved his way through. And there's another goal for Severn and another goal for Blue, bringing the score to 40-34 Blue.
What's the name of your website? Xable.com. Is okay. Xable. Okay.
And it's a timeout.
You're done.
Coach timeout for Blue.
Subs. Chris, Gary. Sub, Chris, Gary.
Again, I'm Natalie Wood with Xable.com, bringing you the coverage of the 30th National Veterans Wheelchair Games this week at the Colorado Convention Center. And we're happy to say we're sponsored today by HealthNet Federal Services. We're back in play as Gray throws in the ball. Number 12 on Gray has the ball, Steve McGuire. McGuire speeding down, looking for a pass. Severn there